Mr. Purcell? Ma'am, informed to open the mic, on the mic, Mr. Purcell mic.
Sir, அவங்க ஆன்ல தான் இருக்காங்க.
Okay, okay. Audible இருக்குதா Mr. Purcell?
Yes, sir. I'm audible.
Okay. Okay, ready? Shall we start?
Okay, sir. Shall we start? Shall we start?
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. Hello and good evening, everyone. Myself Subathra from Civil Engineering Department. I hope you all are staying safe. So we are connected here today for the webinar on software knowledge for the career growth, which is organized by Civil Engineering Department, Shri Bhavani College of Engineering and Technology. It's my privilege to welcome our resource person, Mr. AUTOCAD, who is working at CADD Center, Chennai. And I welcome our Honorable Chairman, Sir, Vice Chairman, Sir, Director, Sir, Principal, Sir, and all department heads, my dear colleagues, students, and the participants from various colleges and schools. I welcome all. Before getting into this webinar, please make sure that your audio is muted. And to make this session as an interactive session, so please post your queries in the chat box. And then nearly at the end of the session, feedback link will be provided in the chat box. So kindly fill that feedback form and make us to know how the session is. Only after filling that form, you will be getting the certificate. So let's move on to the session. So currently we are using a lot of softwares in the civil engineering field. So why we are using that software and for what? Because people need everything to be faster, easier, and better. So for that, I'm gonna call upon Mr. AUTOCAD, presently working as a technical leader in CADD Center. He completed his BE in St. Joseph Engineering College and PG degree in Shri Bhavani College of Engineering and Technology. He worked as a site supervisor in Arab Tech Constructions in Dubai. He published 5 papers in journal. He published 5 papers in national and international journals. For the past few years, he presented 100 plus seminars all over in Chennai. He trained the people in L&T, ozone, Afghans regarding the software knowledge, basically in architectural, structural, project planning, and also in the execution department. And especially, he trained Indian Co-Army Executive Engineer in tunnel construction project for execution and project planning. He is specialized in Primavera P6 software. We are happy to have you here, sir, and the session is over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you for invitation. Thank you very much for sharing your profile history. Yeah, myself, Coach Silvan. Is it clear, man?
Yes, sir.
My voice is audible?
Yeah, audible.
Yep. Yeah, I just trained some L&Ts, AFCONs, ozone people for software training, especially in architecturals, structurals, project plannings, and execution department. These are all the people who are from in the leading companies in Chennai, not only in Chennai, all over in Tamil Nadu, especially in construction fields. They are required to know the knowledges of softwares for their career goals. So the talk is about the importance of software knowledges. Before that, we have to know what all the softwares which are available in the market. Then we have to know about the usages of softwares. I will show my slide. You can see my slide now.
Yeah, sir. Can you make it a slideshow? Yeah.
Yep. Kindly see this. This is the concept of product and project lifecycle management. Before we are going to see this lifecycle details, that we have to know about the difference of product and project lifecycle. I just distinguish the difference in short. can see this product life cycle and project life cycle. Introduce projects from initiation from crucial projects, which undergoes in a product life cycles management. There is a 4-phase in project. That is starting the project, organizing the project, and preparing for the project, then carrying out the project work and closing the project. This is the simple thing which involved in project life cycle. But in product life cycle, it's one of the part of product that we are going to see only the product life cycle only. Product life cycle is a part of product. Okay, you can understand, right? Project life cycle is a part of product. It is a subset of the product. Okay, product life cycle, it starts from inceptions of ideas and ends up with the product. An organization models which only depends on the product life cycles only. It includes entire life cycle of the product, including update and updates. You can see now. I will show the customer requirement details. Now we move on to the topic life cycle. You just see that customer requirement. What is the customer requirement? We just work for the customer needs, right? The planning, analyzing, designing, detailing, execution, aesthetic work for them, which everything which satisfies the customer needs. Okay, I just give some one example for you. Before 10 decades, we are having ceiling fans, right? After 50 years in 1950s, 1960s, air conditioners, air coolers, which are introduced in the markets, right? How they introduced there? There is the customer need and requirements, right? The customer, they need the high cooling machine, which is named as air conditioners or air coolers after some time, right? People which are unsatisfied with the help of the ceiling fans, the industry people, they just collect the feedbacks from the customers, and then research and development will make taken in that. Then table fans which are created on that decades, am I right? So now then the revolution may happen from decades to decades, right? And now the revolution may happen. Peoples which are unsatisfied with the help of ceiling fans and table fans, industry peoples, they collect another one more time the feedbacks to the customers. They switch to research and developments to new product developments, right? So completely the ceiling fan is completely different from air conditioners and air coolers, right? So they introduced air conditioners and air coolers, etc. Whatever it may be, this is considered as a high cooling machines, right? How the ACs which delivers to the market, simply we are creating, right? So which requires design, analysis, planning, manufacturing, testing, execution, bulk manufacturing, marketing, sales, etc. These are all the things which completely molded with product life cycles. I just said, right? Design or drafting, modeling, analyzing, estimations, and execution. Whatever the things, the product which are going to sell in the market, whether it is going to become a fail in the market or peak in a sale, whatever it may be, we just analyze with the product. What is the project we are going to sale, or what is the product we are going to manufacturing in the industries, right? Like this is the simple small example for fan. This is the same thing for the construction activities also, right? Now we see the slide. You can see the first point is the drafting, because in customer requirement also we're just collecting the data by using the software only. They are using some notepads, word pads, Microsoft Office Excels. These are all the things also considered as a software things, right? So then we move on to the drafting design. So these are all the softwares, the basic softwares which are available in draftings. There is a planning concepts, AutoCAD, CALs. Everyone know about AutoCAD. Similarly we know about AutoCAD, right? So CALs, microstations, RCC detailings, MXO, these are also the drafting softwares. Is it audible for you?
Yes, I'm audible.
Let's now see about AutoCAD. Just talk about AutoCAD, simple things, the basic history of AutoCAD. So what all the softwares we are used for plannings? These are the AutoCAD, CALs, microstation we see. Similarly, we know AutoCAD. AutoCAD is a simple abbreviate of automated computer-aided design or drafting, which was invented in, I think so, in 1982, 1980s. By Autodesk company only. It's computed as AutoCAD is as automated or Autodesk computer-aided design, which must be considered. I will simply say about John Walker. Pleasure to say about John Walker. 1980s, we only introduced the softwares. In 1980s, only we have monitors, keyboards, and CPU. At that time, we just only used to command the function by using the commands in AutoCAD. We just use some commands to function the AutoCAD. Yeah, I just show you. These are all things which considered as you can see the AutoCAD profile. 1 minute. I'll share the AutoCAD screen. Now you can see that these are all the things as considered as a ribbon tools, right? On the time we just only use the commands to function the AutoCAD. After in later 1980s or 1990s, John Walker only to introduce these type of ribbon tools. You just click and enter the designs and draft it. It fulfills the usage of mouse in computer system and also in software applications, right? It's very simple, right? It doesn't need any skilled person to work with that. So, however the software it may be, just having some benefits. These are also considered as benefits. Apart from that, time consumption, storage designings, file transferings, tolerance and accuracy value also is a major benefits of AutoCAD. Right? These are all considered as a ribbon tools. I will show you. These are all the things are ribbon tools. So this is the modification tools. AutoCAD is not same for every company. They add some other plugins into the software application to customize or minimize their works. Example, I just designed some company name in that pipeline design. You just enter the line names. They are simplified with that the company name, which will be shown in between the lines. It will be customizations and plugins. Say we simply call as plugins, right? So these are all the geometric concepts inbuilt with the right. Next, we move on to designing. A CAS is considered as computer-aided land surveys, which must be used in land survey designings. We've seen, right, drone designings, GIS and GPS land survey, EDM designings, electronic digital measurement designings, theodolite measurements. We just collect the data from that point. We are having the benchmark points, then about point of differentiation points. We just collecting the data and importing to the software CALs. It's simply called as CALs, and AutoCAD Civil 3D. It's now working in the L&T. They're considering this software for road designs. We're switching MX Road to AutoCAD CALs. That is AutoCAD Civil 3D. You can know the applications of AutoCAD Civil 3D. Then MicroStation is about designing the steel structures, so steel designs, etc. Then RCC detailing is about we just detailing the strut or structural elements, whatever it may be. We are considering. I will show my screen. I will do from a white screen. It's not available. It's fine. The white screen is not available for me. Fine, no worries. We move to the design topic. Yeah, designing we need it's a PLM which defines modeling, right? Designing most of all the engineers are desired to move in design fields only, right? Before that, we have to know about what are all the softwares they are using. Okay, the companies they are using some other softwares, like we have to know what are all the softwares they are using. Then why we have to study those softwares, right? So I just simplified with that. Revit architectures, Revit structurals, Revit mechanical, electrical, plumbing. Max for engineers is defined as 3ds Max, simply called as 3ds Max. VDA is considered as a render engine, simply verified render engine. Then SketchUp also is having a VDA render engine. Revit, same as it is, render engine for Revit is considered as Lumions. Okay? Then Pro Steel is for steel designs. Right, I just show you. These are all playing major role in design market. That is Revit, 3ds Max. 3ds Max is especially for interior designing. Revit is for architectural works, then structural work. I will explain about a BIM concept, that is building information modeling. Revit is just having work sharing concepts also. That is all the 7 engineers, that is various engineers, various department engineers, they can work in a single platform. I will give some basic example. Before 2 decades, we are having some several department in civil engineers. Now also we are having, I just giving some example for you, that is planning department, architectural department, structural, mechanical, electrical, fire and safety. These are all the engineers, they can work in individual, right? So imagine one thing, we are going to construct a commercial block, okay? So planning department, which plans for the interior structures, architectural department, which coincide with work with that aesthetic purposes. Then structural department, they work for structural element, then designs and analysis. Then fire and safety for mechanical electrical plumbing. Mechanical electrical plumbing means we are having some electrical equipment into the commercial blocks. Then plumbing works. Then HVAC is the most important topic. HVAC, high ventilation air cooling capacities, we have to introduce into the commercial blocks. It must be very useful for mechanical electrical plumbing works. Okay, so before 20 years, 30 years, architectural departments, they completed the plan now. Okay, now the plan which moves to the structural departments, right? The problem which considered, you just consider one thing, there is a 200 feet corridors without column in between the commercial blocks, particularly in ground floor. Okay, now the structural engineers giving an idea to introduce one column or strut in between the corridors. Okay, they give some other plans changes also in that plan, then which moves to the architectural department for approval. Architect only which designs the some plan, whatever it may be, is the cutting and fillings in designings. Structural engineer which work for structural elements. Okay, now we move on to the topic. There is a 200 feet corridors. There is no struct in between that 200 feet in the ground floor, particularly in ground floor. The structural engineers which introduce some ideas into the planning. Okay, now then which moves to the architectural department for approvals. Now they are opposing. It affects the aesthetic works. Now we have to redesign some architectural works, right? It's a simple thing, right? So structural engineer, they changes the plan. Architectural engineers, they opposing the plan to redesign, right? They have to redesign some aesthetic works because it is unsatisfied in structural design. Okay, so after sometimes then structural and architectural departments getting compromisation in design, which moves to the mechanical design, that is MEP design engineers. Okay, now the problem in profile of duct. Okay, now we see, now the plan get failed, which moves to the structural department. Okay, again, which the plan get failed in duct profile, which moves to the structural department. The structural engineers, they have to redesign something. Okay, now it's moves to the architectural department for approval, whether it is aesthetic is okay, or we have to redesign, etc. Okay, in those times they wasted that much of time in designings and in approvals. Work sharing is a simple concept. It minimizes the time in designings and in approvals. Okay, I will explain work sharing. Simply we called as the basic designs, it will be given to the engineers. That is doors, windows, aesthetic purposes, which will be put to architectural engineers. The structural elements, whatever it may be in that, it will be, it gives to the structural departments. Then HVAC designs, mechanical working, plumbing workings, it goes to the mechanical design. If any problem in that, architectural engineers, they have to design with that particular structural element. Means hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, sir.
Yep. 1 minute.
Okay.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, sir.
Yep. So now audible. Okay. Yeah, it will in the work sharing department, right? I will explain the work sharing. Yeah, now the architectural engineer, they have to edit that particular column. Means they just selected the column, particular column. The message it will be goes to the structural department. They immediately they give the result for them. They accept or deny. Okay, whether he accepted the profile, architectural engineers can edit that particular column only. Okay, so this is the simple thing. It minimizes the wastage of time in designings and approvals. It must be connected with the work sharing, connected to the hub. Every engineers can work with a single platform. It minimizes the design approval times. Okay, this is the major importance of Revit in work sharing concept. Then I will explain about BIM. It's the most important topic. After 2 decades or another decade, we can work with the BIM only. We're just having some plan. Before 10 to 20 years, we just only having a plan. Now we move to the interior designings, then architectural works. After one decade or another decade, we move on to the BIM concepts, that is building total information. Before that, I will explain the same thing. Yeah, that is BIM is considered as total, is a complete information of the model. That is complete information of the construction product. Okay, so consider one room. Okay, and consider this as a classroom. What are all the needs in classrooms? So we just split that structural elements. What are all the structural elements in that? What are all the architectural elements in that? What are all the electrical elements in that? Consider this as a classroom or smart classroom. There is a 6 column in that. Okay, structurally I'm just drawing 6 column in that. Then 4 running beams in that. Then 2 runway slab. That is 2-way slab in that. Okay, these are all the structural elements present in that classroom. Okay, then brickworks. Can you mute?
Hello, sir. Your screen is not visible.
No, man.
No, sir. Only the slide product lifecycle management is only visible. Yeah.
No, man.
Yeah, ma'am. Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes. Sir.
Yeah. Some guy shared his screen. Please don't share your screen. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sir. Not yet visible.
Right.
Yeah, now it's visible.
Now I show you. Yeah, we talked about a classroom. Right? Consider this as a classroom. Okay, so we are having a 6 columns. Okay, just next 6 columns. Then 4 running beams in that. Then about 2 two-way slab. So what all the other things? This is about brickwork also. It's considered as a structural element work. Right? Then from the aesthetics of architectures, wooden doors, then windows, then board, writing board, then projector. Not about in projector. Projector is not comes in architectural works. Electrical works, how much of tube lights which will be powered the classroom. Then about fans, ceiling fans or centralized AC. Centralized air conditioners. These are all the complete information of the building. Apart from that, the 50 students are present. 50 students which present in that. Kindly mute your microphones. Okay. So apart from that, 50 students which will be present in that. Then one start. Okay, there is a complete information of the building. Apart from that, robo analysis which accompanies with how much of oxygens the room comprised, then how much of carbon dioxide it emitted in that. These are also the data we have to give for tender quotations. right? This is considered as building information modeling. That is total information of the building. That is considered as PLM designs. We can see that PLM. This also it considers drafting, modeling, analyzing, estimations. Estimations also it considers 7D BIM. That is the seventh dimension of building information. It's considered as estimations and executions, right? I just show you then another softwares. Show the slide. You can see my slide now. The another software is considered as 3ds Max, right? That is Max for engineers. It is specially for animation designs, interior designings. It's very interesting that Nemo movies, you just see, right? Nemo movies, Lion King movies. These are all the movies also which are designed by using these softwares. I just show the platform for you. This is the 3ds Max platform. You can see that, right? I'll show some other designs. You can see this. It's more designed. You can see this, right? So these are all the platforms. This is the 3ds Max platform. You can design some interior designing works, then exterior architectural works. So this is not only for designing. This is considered this for animation work also. I just show you the camera rotation movements. You can see this. Just selecting on camera. It will animate also. You can see the animations, right? It's slightly buffering for you. The camera rotations. So Max for engineers, you can see, right? That is V-Ray especially for photorealistic renders. Just see that photorealistic render view for that by using V-Ray rendering. SketchUp is a simple designing software. So it is very light to use, right? Simply sketching. We just sketch the software by using simply sketching with pencils and pen. These are all the things that will be possible softwares by using the SketchUps, right? So you just design and draft. Okay. You just see this, the PLM concepts. There's a CAD softwares like AutoCAD, Revit architectures, Revit structures, and Revit MEP. These are all the things as considered as CAD softwares. Analyzing means ANSYS Civil. You know very well about StatPro. So StatPro V8i, ETABS. ETABS also analyzing softwares. It's only considered for building construction. That is commercial block designings. It's only for that purpose only. A STAT which designs some other things, not only in commercial blocks, building blocks. Apart from that, we just design some shear wall designs. Then about diaphragm designs, not possible as much of ETABS. We just design something in StatPro. Then bridge deck designs, then advanced concrete design. It is possible in StatPro design. I will also distinguish the difference for that. I will show one slide for you. That Excel concepts. So before that, we just see this. Right. So management we consider as MSP. Then project planning management's Primavera. These are also execution purposes software, right? In the execution part, I will clearly explain this. The graphic software is considered as I just showed, right? Now the workspace has 3D Studios Max. Then design visualization tool is a single part of the DVP is considered only for civil engineers and interior designers. Okay, so 3ds Max is like a ocean of softwares, right? So it will be work in civil industries, architectural industries, animations industries, movie industries. It's a complete package of that. So I just show that workspace. This is a thing for animation industries, right? So this is completely for animation purposes. Then graphic designing, graph purposes, then customization, lighting analysis, everything will be possible in 3ds Max. It's just a part. You are just seeing just a part of civil engineering. Right? In the render frame, you're just seeing just a part of the civil. You can also design some interior designing, like bedroom designs like this much. We can see this. You can also design this much of designs by using interior design concepts, right? It is also possible in 3ds Max. It's also possible in SketchUp also. Okay, so it's a simple and verified design, basically compared with 3ds Max. Okay, it's very highly configured software. It's very light to use in SketchUp. Right? Fine. So, another slide. So it's the most important topic. I just shared with you. We just overviewed the AutoCAD, CALs, microstations, RCC detailing, and MX Road. Then we move to the topic of Revit architectures, then Max for engineers, that is considered as 3ds Max, SketchUp, then Pro Skills, right? So we just move to this. Why engineering goes on with the simple social concepts. Yeah, you just see my track. As many as 97% of graduation engineers want job, either in softwares or core engineering, but only 3% have the suitable skills. Why? The 7% can handle the core engineering task because they're not fit with these things, right? You can see that the communication skills, ability to lead the skills, that is the most important thing. Updated in with technology, updated with the latest in technologies. Okay, these much of the latest technology we have to update ourselves, right? So some other the peoples, that is I said, right, LNT, AFCON peoples, they are placed in their companies, but they have to update, right? So they are updating with the latest technologies like Max for engineers, Maya technologies, then AutoCAD Civil 3D. So AutoCAD Civil 3D is basically German and American standard companies. They only used for road designs. Now India is updating with that, with road designs. They are completely switching from MX road to AutoCAD Civil 3D for that topography surface design. We only know about EDM designs, then theodolite designs only, theodolite marking measurements only. But we are technology updated with GIS, GPS, then with EDM, complete measurement, infrared ones, drone surveyings, helicopter surveying. These are all the advanced technology we are using now, right? But we are satisfied with theodolite and EDM measurement only. Now also the large scale project also they are using only EDM measurements, most advanced one. But apart from that, we are using latestly in tunnel construction they are used GIS and GPS data constructions for constructions. Then also in drone survey, that is a 300 lakhs of acres of land which will be surveyed by using latest technology like GIS and GPS only. We have to update ourselves with the latest technology, then versatility, then strong in technical stuff. This is the industry is expecting. Then only we can satisfy with the software knowledges. 1 minute. Yeah. Right, now we clear with that. So how the 97% graduations, they are not in engineering fields, right? They are split up with that some other works, right? Only the 7 to 10% engineering people's only working with the core concepts of engineering tasks. Fine, now we move to the PLM. So next part is called analysis. I just preferred the most important thing. What is meant by analysis? This is completely an engineering concept. Engineers who can work with analysis, right? So there are several softwares available in market. We know very much about STAT. The STAT Pro is a very much known softwares by engineers. Apart from that, we are having ETABS, ANSYS Civil, FEM concepts, then SAFE designs for especially for slab designs. It's the most important software. SAFE, it's a slab design. Then Tekla for modeling softwares in steel, particularly for steels. Right? We move to STAT. Every software depends on analysis only. Whatever the software may be, ETABS, SAFE, ANSYS, instead, what are the softwares? Everything which depends on analysis. I just distinguish the difference for that. I just show one thing. You can see this most important definition for that. So these are all the functions of ETABS and STAT-Pro. I just give the distinguish for that. I just prepared for you. So there is a grid options, story options. So grid-wise elevation designings, slab diversion designing, post-tensioning slab designing, unit changes. These are all the major advantages of ETABS and STAT-Pro. Compared to STAT-Pro, ETABS is very much fine for us for analysis. But the ETABS software, it's only used to analyzing the design concept with commercial building blocks only. We just only design buildings. That's it. Not with the bridge deck designs. They're not about commercial designs like underwater construction designs with the limit state and working stress method. It must be not possible in ETABS, but very much possible in building designs, and very quick designs also. It's available in ETABS. There's a model grid design analysis. It's very easy to column analysis. That it will be easily analyzing the structural self weight, but it is not available and not possible in STAT models. That you can analyze like flow diaphragm designings, then meshing. the quadrilateral and polygonal meshing which is available in stat pro but not available generally quadrilateral only in ETABS. Okay, I will show a stat profile for you. I just designed one thing for you. So a student who called and asked me to design a bridge deck design, how we design a bridges in stat. This is the, you can see, right? Is this audible for you? You can see the screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is one thing. The student who asked me how to design a bridges in stat. Yes, the most important thing. It's about I just modeled on framed structures, right? You can see it in the 3D model. So this is the 3D model. These are all the blue lines which consider as running beams and columns. Then structural elements like columns. This is struct. I will show the general thing of this. What all the things we used. There is a plate thickness of 0.25 meters. Then rectangle columns of rectangle beam of 0.5 meter. Then this is 0.6 meters of circular struts. The complete materials of concrete. This is a fully based concrete structure. So I just analyzes this structure. I just analyzed. We go to the bridge deck design. So blue line which indicates the deck of the carriageway. According to that, you can see that blue line, right? So there is a carriageway. There is a 3-meter carriageway I just designed for according to the IRC standard. You know about IRC, right? Indian Road Congress. You just verify with that codes. You can see the load generator. So you can see this IRC chapters. We can move with IRC loading legs. This is a class 70-hour loading, class AA loadings, class B loading. What is the loading which concept means? I will show the vehicle database for you. So these are all the loading profile. You can see the axles, right? So 4-way axles, then tracked vehicles like 6 axles, then long vehicles. These are all the axles which must be provided in that. I simply used influence surface load generator. So I simply used that 70-hour loading in this profile. Okay, you can see that by analyzing, by using this influence diagrams, by using load displacements or whatever the categories which I just designed for you. I'm just giving some specialized value. So that is 28. There is a positive value in result. Reaction in Z directions. Okay. So some other the nodes. That is the 28 means I'm giving that node value. Okay. So just apply it. You can see the difference, right? This is the reactions. This is the influence on nodes. Okay. I will show the vehicle also in this data. So just clicking that influence diagram. So move with the deck designs. I just show the vehicles. How the vehicle it will be clearly look like in the carriage. You can see that, right? So these are all the axles which must be loading in the particular points in that particular plates. By using a plate cursor, I just show. This is the plate. It's splitted plate. That is a polygonal meshes plate. I just showed, right, in a distinguish. There is a quadrilateral and polygonal mesh. Both the things which is made possible in stack, but not possible in ETABS. Only the quadrilateral mesh only available. This is the quadrilateral mesh, not a polygonal mesh. Polygonal mesh means it will be meshed in a triangle way. All the things it must be provided in triangle, but it's a square possible base. It's called as quadrilateral dimension meshing. Okay. It's a one single plate. It will be meshed in hundreds of parts. This is called as meshing. Right? I'll show this slide now. Are you clear with that design, bridge deck design? How we design the bridges in that? So we are not having that much of time. I just show the designed value. We can also design. We have to know about the knowledge of designing, how they design. So we have to design the concrete designs for that. According to this analysis, we also design the particular concrete designs for this particular bridges. Right? This is also possible in. You can see this concrete design, right? It is also possible in StatPro, but not possible in ETABS. But ETABS is a very simple software. It must be used for commercial block detailings like G+12 buildings, G+17 buildings, G+20 buildings. It will be possible. But instead, apart from that, building designs, bridge deck designs, then concrete of advanced limit state design, water tank design, everything it must be possible in ETABS. Sorry, in StatPro. Right? ANSYS Civil means it's a finite element analysis. We just analyze the meshes, right? Then what all the nodes which are having the meshes? I just show you. You can see that meshing part, right? In that point also, we just analyze the load. You can see, I will define that load definitions for you. In that particular point also, we're just having loads. So load. So loads and definition. You can see that load, right? So I will show the load. So from that individual points, you can see that load definitions. Okay, the load which will be possible in affecting that all the machine points. It is considered as finite element analysis. So this is a simple thing we just defined in STAT, but in ANSYS Civil, it will be clearly verified with load definitions and graphical representation and stress graph designs. That is, we call this a post processing in. It's not analysis. After completing analysis, we just define some post processing in this. I will show you. Go to post processing now. In post processing, consists these beams. You can design some bending moments and stress graph in this. I will design the graph. You can see the one plate. It designs some bending moments and the stress with the hogging or sagging effect. What all the maximum effects in this? I will define with you in stresses. Particularly, we select one column. Right? So you can see this. This is the one rectangle column. In this particular point, that yellow line will be indicated in that, right? You can see our in this particular point, how much of value it will be delivered. I just added to the stress table. Just consider this. In this particular point, right? I am doing this at the stress table. In this particular point, how much of value it will be considered, it will be clearly shown there. So in this particular distance, how much of stress will be acting in that? This is the cut profile of it. So this is the cut profile. Right. So these are all the things which are also possible by using stat pro analysis, but it is not possible in ETAPS. Okay, you just show a. Are you clear with that ETAP design and the difference of ETAPS and stat? Are you clear? Shall we move to the estimation part? Estimation and execution is the most important part. What all the project it may be, it have to design with estimate, right? We must considering the building estimation, costing, and Navis works. This is the major role we playing in that estimation departments. Civil also, sorry, Revit also it having some BIM concepts. In that BIM, that 7D dimension, that is the 7th dimension of building estimation is considered as estimation only. Okay, in Revit also we can define some estimations. Now clear in that how the estimation software works. Right, I will define you something. Chat box, some other chats. Yeah, Bhavani Rajwin, Mr. Bhavani Rajwin, how to create cables and bridge designs using StatPro. Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. And in the final of session, I will clear you. Okay. What is the best career path in software related in civil engineering? Sin Wilson. Yeah, designing is the most important career path. Designing is simply like architectural, then about in structural, whatever the design may be. So design is the best part in your career. Okay. Is there any possibilities to use PLM software in bridge constructions? Yeah, whatever the software it may be, PLM is defined every software. There is AutoCAD. Individually, AutoCAD is also having some PLM concepts. That is a product lifecycle concepts. Revit is also having some PLM concepts. CADD is having some PLM concepts. Yeah, Mr. Yeah, Ms. Abarna, please ask your question. Yep. Yeah, how to create the cables, it will be defined in the final of the session. I will clearly explain you, Bhavani Rajwin. Suspension bridges will be provided. Suspension bridges and connecting the bridges, it will be possible in StatPro, but not in ETAPS. This is also the most important point you just created. I will clearly explain you in the last of the session. Okay, we move to estimation and execution, right? Estimate means I will explain. Before that, we move to the execution part. So I will show that companies, they are using AutoCADs. Right, there is nearly 11,866 members. There is a large scale industries, particularly in constructions. They are using AutoCAD. This is the major industries they are playing in AutoCAD role. Right, so AutoCAD plays a major role in large scale industries. Whatever it may be in large scale industries or small scale industries, AutoCAD is playing the major role in that. So it's a must important software. We have to take the knowledge from that. Even though at 12 students can having the AutoCAD knowledge. So you just see the graph, right? Architectures and planning, machineries, computer softwares, computer hardwares, higher education, civil engineering, mechanical industries, designs, mining industries. In particular, in mining industries, they use about topography markings for pile works, then tower works. They are using AutoCAD. AutoCAD is, I just said right, no. AutoCAD is not even simple for that companies. Okay, not same for every companies. They add some other plugins in that software applications. Particularly in mining industries, also they are using some plugins for it. Construction and architectural planning, they use some plugin defines as estimation part, like Navis work concepts, then building estimation concepts. It will be important and plugin added plugin in AutoCAD. Okay, they have no need to add some other softwares to work with estimations. They use some that plan in AutoCAD. They estimate that by using these plugins. Okay, so can you see this? The company is based on employees and BIM. What all the companies they are using the BIM? We just focus on construction. This is a peak in using that construction activities. They are using 894 large scale industries. They are using BIM. BIM is simply called Revit. Revit. This is a completely molded software. So Revit is completely molded. Revit architecture, Revit structure, and Revit mechanical and electrical and plumbing works. There is 7 various department engineers. They can work with Revit works. Fine. Right. Then say about STAD. It's everything is about constructions and architectural field. It's a peak in designs. There is a software purposes only, because whatever the product it may be in civil industries, we just move on to that product life cycle only. Okay. Right. So okay. So whatever the product it may be, it must be dependent with product life cycle only in construction field. Right, so whatever the organization models, which depends only on product. That is we doesn't mean with the projects, we doesn't prefer the non-destructive testings. We just only prefer with civil industries or architecture industries, whatever the structural departments we are having, only move on to the organization dependence, to only move on to the product life cycle. Whatever the problems we are facing in that project, we just analyze with the product department. After that only we move on to the construction department. Fine. Then we move to the execution part. So it's a most important part. That is we are using Primavera, MSP concepts, then PPM concepts in for execution profiles. Okay, I just give some examples for you in Primavera. Before that, 1 minute, I will take some water. Fine. Okay. For execution profile, majorly we are using Primavera MSP concepts only. Okay, so Primavera is a large scale industry project. MSP and PPM concepts for small scale industries. Even L&T, FCons also they are using only MSP and the PPM concept. I will explain you about an Primavera also. Now in this concept, I will explain you Primavera. I will explain how the softwares works and the importance of that softwares, then why we are using majorly in execution profiles. Okay, I will define one thing for you. Consider on topmost company in India. Okay, so I will take companies like I will take Tata. Okay, I'll take Tata company. So this, consider this as a top company in India, right? Tata is one of the most important company in India. Who is the CEO of that? Mr. Ratan Tata, right? So I will explain. Ratan Tata, who is the CEO? He is the CEO of that company. He is having that about total power of that particular company. Okay. Before I will explain about Primavera, there are three categories in there. That is OBS, EPS, and WPS. Not about political parties. It's about organization breakdown structure, enterprises project structure, and work breakdown structures. Okay, this is the most important thing. I will clearly note it, write it down here. OBS, it's defining organization breakdown structures. Then EPS. EPS is about enterprises project structures. Then finally WPS and activities. That is called as work breakdown structures. Particularly in BE, we studied about construction management, then about construction schedule. They have note about OBS, EPS, and WPS structures. Sorry, breakdown structures. Fine. So these are all the three categories which will be imposed in Primavera. That is OBS for organization breakdown structure, EPS for enterprises breakdown structure, WBS for work breakdown structure. This is the complete thing which is defining the Primavera. Fine. So consider now a Tata company. What are all the things which comes under Tata? So Tata is a basic company. We know about that, right? So Tata Construction, Tata Consultancy Services, Tata Steels, etc. These are all the companies which comes under Tata. Right? I will define that also. Example, the Tata Consultancy Services. You know about very well about TCS. So then Tata Constructions. TCS. Then Tata Constructions. Then what is the Tata Steels? These are all the things are considered as a enterprises breakdown structures. Fine. Tata and Ratan Tata, there is a CEO of that company. They are comes under organization breakdown structure. They are having a most powered position in that company. They are in OBS, that is organization breakdown structures. There is a Tata Consultancy Services, Tata Constructions, Tata Steels, Tata Residence. These are all in that enterprises breakdown structure. These are all breakdown structures in organization. Fine. Then in the Tata Construction, we just particularly we say about a civil field. We just use some Tata Construction part. Take some locations and what are all the constructions they are having. So Tata Construction, they are constructing school buildings, college buildings, commercial buildings, residential buildings, then hospitals. We just type that. So in Tata Constructions, especially they are constructing school, colleges, commercials. So it's also considered as commercials only. Consider about malls, etc. Right? Residentials. Hospitals, etc. Fine. These are all the construction activities for Tata. Okay. That Tata, it's split at Tata Constructions, Tata Steels, then Tata Consultancy Services. In that, particularly in Tata Constructions, they are constructing school buildings, colleges, commercial buildings, residential, then hospitals. They are constructing in different locations now. Fine. They are constructing in different locations. Consider these things. It will be constructing in different locations now. That will be in Chennai, Kolkata, It is Calcutta now, right? Delhi. So these are all considered these locations, fine. They are constructing in different locations. We have to sort out now, particularly the Tata company, Tata Construction. They are constructing the school building in Chennai. Now we consider that. Now we're talking only about the residential buildings constructing in Chennai, fine. Not about the school building, college, commercial building constructed in Kolkata, Delhi, Vizag. Okay, these are all the things which comes under the enterprises breakdown structures. Okay, particularly in Chennai, we are taking these residential buildings, fine. Chennai residential buildings. Particularly, I'm sorting out by using Primavera software. So it will be possible only in Primavera. It is a single profile of that only one company, not about other companies like L&T, Ozone Groups, then Afcons. Not about that companies. We have to analyze the 500 plus project in the single time by using the Primavera software, right? Then we take a construction project, particularly a residential building in Chennai, fine. In that residential building, what are all the things we just considered? Estimation purpose we just used, right? Earthwork excavation, jungle clearance, slab work. Then what about beam work, running beam works, then slab works, then footing profile designs, then plastering works, brickworks, then about plastering works, then finishing works, electrical works, plumbing works. These are all the work profile we scheduled, right? These are all the work breakdown structures we are having, right? Everyone we know that is specific with that. There is earthwork excavations. There is a first point of that, right? Whatever the construction it may be, earthwork excavation is the first point, or must be jungle clearance. So first point is the jungle clearance, then about earthwork excavation, then footing profile or marking. We provide with footing profile. Then with the foundation design, foundation work. It is simply called as footing work. Then beam and column work. Fine. Sorry, band not. There is a beam. So beam and column work. Sorry, and beam and column work. Then what is the next profile? We just construct a brickwork, right? So just brickwork designs. Then finally, so running beam design, running beam work. Then lintel work. Then just detailing, right? These are all the things which comes under. What are all the things which comes under work breakdown structures? Lintel works. Then about slab work. Then plasterings, finishing. So electrical and plumbing also there. Simply called as electrical and plumbing. Then finishing. Right. These are all the things which comes under work breakdown structures. That is WBS categories. From the Tata is considered as organization breakdown structure. Tata Consultancy Services, Tata Construction, Tata Steels are considered as a enterprises breakdown structures. And school, college, what are all the construction they are using and what are the preferred location they are selecting. We just sorting out by using OBS, WBS, and EPS category. From this WBS category, we just categorize with working activity details. From particularly in earthwork excavation, who are all working in that particular field, how many days it takes for that particular design. Based on these collection of data only, we have to give the wages for them. That is for labors, right? Simply we call the execution profile as a construction schedule. Okay, next one is about what is a footing profile. The same thing, who are all working in that particular footing work, then how much of days it takes to complete that particular profile days. Right, you just analyze, right, from bottom to top. We just take the execution profile, what are all the works will be covered in that, how they works in that, right? From that information only we just take the complete schedule of that particular profile, right? It's only for Tata Construction, I just saying, simply called we just taking the Tata Construction work. In the Tata company, Tata Construction, particularly in Chennai, we just taking the residential building. What are all the things in APS? Then what are all the activities just considered in that? By using Primavera software, so we just take that profile of more than 500 plus company details and compare with that present companies. What are all the details they are comparing with that, and profile varying with that, and giving some various economic growth Or you understand with that point what all the things which comes with the economical growth. Fine. What is the importance of Primavera? This, it must be possible by categorizing that from Tata Construction, what all the profile, what all the locations we are having, what all the activities they are handling in that, how much of peoples they are working in that. This is the execution profile, right? This is the last thing in life cycle management. We just consider with that AutoCAD drafting, skills management, then modelings, then analyzing. We just see what is the designing and analysis, how much of designs which will be possible in 3ds Max. What is the difference? What is the variations of architecturals and interiors and structural? We just see that both the platforms, right? What all the things which should be possible in 3ds Max architectural design? What is the things which may be possible in STAD and structural design? Okay, so what all the things in execution compared with the Tata company? It's a basic example I just give. Primavera is also just like a ocean. We just the large scale industries, they are using that much of software, but MSP is a simple software by using this project designing software. Same, what all the considerations we just give, but we're not able to compare the project with other companies. It's not possible in that. But not able to handle the projects like 500 plus projects in a MSP project, but it is possible in Primavera. Fine. And gentlemen, thank you. Thank you for the kind attention and patient listening. Thank you very much. I'm clear, my audibles.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
So thank
Thank
you.
you, sir. You explained it in a simple way and make the participants to understand the things better. So, next I'm going to share about some of the information about our college. So, our college, New Queen Shri Bhavani College of Engineering and Technology, established in the year 2008, is affiliated to Anna University and accredited by NAC and ISO 9001:2015 with excellent grade. Our college offering many courses like Computer Science and Engineering, Civil Engineering, Electronics and Communication Engineering, Electrical and Electronics Engineering, Computer Application and Information Technology. Our college has spacious classrooms and well-equipped laboratories and library which caters to the need of the undergraduate and postgraduate students, research scholars and the faculty. A full-fledged transport department functions in our college with buses to provide transport facility to students and staff from various places. We also provide excellent and separate hostel facilities for both boys and girls, and admission is done as per the norms of the Anna University Chennai and Government of Tamil Nadu. We also have various centers for enter quality management, career guidance, placement and training cell, research and innovation, and tech super hub, which helps to enhance the students' knowledge. Our college provides the best technical education with placement center functioning in the campus. The very active placement center serves as a foundation for many careers by guiding students in right direction through continuous counseling and arranging for campus recruitment. This center creates a meticulous database and assists the students in getting placed in national and multinational companies through campus recruitment. We have successfully produced 91% placement in core companies like TCS, CTS, HCL, etc. in the academic year 2019 to 20. When you step into the campus, you can feel beautiful ambience filled with our dreams, which will definitely come true. We provide enormous scholarship schemes for meritorious students by waiving off their tuition fees. We provide 100% free education for poor and deserving students. Apart from excellent academic track with various mission and vision goals, we also concentrate on several value-added courses and certificate programs. We also stimulate students to take part in sports and cultural activities and also to encourage students to participate in workshops, seminar conferences, and so on. Our aim is to reach and sustain higher level of quality standards in terms of best academic process, research activities, center of excellence, advanced educational value-added training in coaching, and better placement support. So next, we are having one photo session. So participants, for that, please uh, please turn on your video. So participants, please turn on your video for the photo session.
Ma'am, நாங்களுமா வீடியோ?
Yeah, sir.
ஓகே ஃபைன். இப்போதான் பவர் சப்ளை வந்தது.
Okay, sir, no issue, sir. Participants, please turn on your video. Shiva, sir, is it done?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir. So now we are at the end of the session. It's the time to thank all of you. It's my privilege to thank our resource person, Mr. R. Tokshalvan, who accept my invitation and sharing his experience with us today. And you took this even to a higher level, sir. Thank you, sir. And I extend my hearty vote of thanks to our chairman, sir, vice chairman, sir, director, sir, principal, sir, for your commitment and your vision in its work. Next, I'm gonna thank our HOD sir for constantly motivating us to organize this kind of seminar. And finally, I thank all the participants for your active participation. Without your support, this won't be possible. So I thank all of you. We look forward to the same in the future also. Thank you all. Stay home, stay safe.